I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to keep the answer to yourself. What is your deepest desire? Take a deep breath. Allow this question to sink down deep. Relaxed, deeper, relaxed, deeper. And now come to rest in the center, in the very core of your being. Welcome to Lesson 2 of the Tarot Review of the Major Arcana, the Alchemical Kabbalah. This week, we are going straight to reading our two keys from the Book of Wisdom. I'd like everyone to really engage these two keys for yourself and share what occurs to you in this pair. Just unmute yourself one at a time and just share what comes to you from the Empress and the Emperor.
They're looking at one another.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
And what's on their hearts.
Nice. What do you make of that?
I'm still learning all these symbols.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the Trinity's in her heart, and the cross. To me, they represent so many different things. Depending on, I guess, where I am at any given time.
Yeah.
Can I say something about
Sure.
that sort of? I was thinking there's all the green in the Empress, which is Venus, and there's the red in the Emperor, which is Mars. And
Yes.
the triangle is red, so the fire is in her heart. I mean, sort of.
No, that's exactly perfect. Yes.
And
Perfect.
and the water, it like flows down from hers like into his.
Yeah, it's like seamless, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You can really get a sense here of how the flow of the river of consciousness through the whole tarot. It's cool how at her key there's a waterfall, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the stream is coming from a higher level and then dropping, right? It's a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
waterfall. Or it comes through these massive, like fiery volcanic mountains.
And also there's grass on the ground, and the cube is on it. He's on it, so
Hmm.
that shows his strength, power, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
Is she a door and he a window?
That's correct. That's correct. So perfect. The door is Dalet, the letter, and the window is Hey right here. That's right.
what is the significance of her foot is on the moon? So I see that like maybe emotions, more that lunar energy, where his like goes off of the card, so to speak.
Right, right.
Is he like overstepping or still I get this power, you know, he's
It's a good
strong.
question, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
That one star is kind of falling off her head.
Right here at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Interesting.
It just seems like they represent really different parts of a whole. Like they represent two kinds of power. And hers is like you'd get from nature. It's like this, the power that you get from the invisible almost. And his is more like earth power. I don't know. It just feels so amazing. I think that this looking at more than one card at a time is really helping.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I love what you said about them being two parts of one thing, but different.
And the door and the window, all these ideas seem so good to me.
Yeah, so the Home Tarot here, they do a wonderful job of putting at the lower right-hand corner of each major key, they'll put the symbol that is what the meaning of the Hebrew letter is to help us remember and to contemplate that. And they also add the astrological sign right here. See, she's Venus and he's Mars, right? And then they put the sound, like the basic sound of the letter da and ha, or the H sound here. Also love they added a little bee here around the roses. All right. This is going to be a good set for your core practice this week. So these two keys, as Marla rightly said, are Venus and Mars. So this is desire or love and action or volition. These two keys show us what motivates virtually every conscious and unconscious activity throughout our entire life. The keys are our most perfect living archetypes of what we know as mother and father and female and male. But remember, these keys are all about you. This has everything to do with you and your connection to the all. Why do you think we're so affected by love and desire? Anyone? Just share what occurs to you.
It feels really good.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
It seems like it's what gets us to act.
Right.
It's motivating.
Yeah. Right. Where do our desires come from?
I'm thinking of that question you first asked us when you said, "What is your deepest desire?" And I was sitting and going deeper and deeper. And
Yeah.
it seemed to me like it was connecting.
Okay. Good.
And so
And keep
that,
it to yourself.
oh, I forgot to do that.
No, that's okay. You did not keep it to yourself. No, thank you. Yes. So just keep that question and let it sink down there with you. Where do our desires come from? Okay. So the Empress and the Emperor clearly are in love. It is simply our nature to be as our Creator created us. We cannot help but be as our Creator created us and creates us. All our desires are rooted in the self. No matter what they are, no matter what they are, all desire, all desires are rooted in the self. Sometimes it's expressed that a desire is simply a lower vibrational expression of what we mean by love, like real love. There is only one love, one reality, expressing itself in countless ways throughout eternity. You are a center of expression for this one love. The Empress is love. She is the living patterns that are impressed into the Akasha, the essence of the life material from our previous key, the High Priestess. Another way of seeing the Empress is as the High Priestess or the subconscious that is now pregnant with the seeds planted by the magician, the self-conscious. All of this occurs within you all the time. We're told God is love. At the soul level, we crave real love from the one with every fiber of our being. When we open to the self within, what comes is a presence that is the light and life of the superconscious all. And this is grace. The Empress Hebrew letter is Dalet. It's sometimes said that the Empress, this key, and what she is, that she is worth more than all fine rubies and gold. Remember, the tattvas are all through the tarot. We see the tattva of fire as the red triangle at the heart of the Empress, and the tattva of water as the moon below her feet. Just as the water breaking signals a new birth into manifestation from the womb, the moon at her feet is the waters of life through which the forms of life are birthed into the world. The letter Dalet here means door. So, what do you make of the meaning of this letter, Dalet, meaning door?
I feel like this one is like we're walking into the door of this love. Like it's almost like a invitation to this love to bring
Nice.
it in, bring it into the world. But
Okay.
it's really freaking hard at the same time because you know,
Okay.
but it's like that is like you enter this door. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm gonna be loved everywhere I go. I'm gonna do my best to be
Mm,
loved, walk in that,
mm,
and like be it. And
yeah. So the beauty is being love is not something we have to create. It's something that one already is, right? Now, being true to ourselves, yeah, that is that's kind of the crux, right? That's the whole path in a nutshell. This is truth about the self, number 3. Filled with understanding of its perfect law, I am guided, moment by moment, along the path of liberation. Okay, just like we cannot help but focus on what we love or desire, we can't help ourselves. The emperor cannot stop focusing on the empress. He cannot stop looking at her and gazing at the source of all his desire and love. If we look at the scepter he's holding, does anyone recognize the symbol?
the Ankh.
Yes, it is an Ankh. And specifically, this is the Ankh of Venus. He's looking through the top, right here, which you see the orange circle within the gold circle, which is the astrological symbol of the sun. He's looking directly through the center of the symbol. And we see the same symbol of the sun right here at the top of his crown. The Empress is said to be clothed with the sun. The vision of the Emperor is what calls forth the images of the Empress. They work together, each in their own power and sphere, to bring forth all forms into creation through the power of vision. That is the power of the Emperor key, is vision, sight. But we're not talking about physical sight here. This vision of the Emperor is the vision of the one mind. This is one reason the Emperor is said to be the Ancient of Days. Focus on this key connects your consciousness to that higher vision of the one. It's the vision that has called you and all things forth. What the Emperor sees is allowed to come into manifestation. And it's the higher vision of the heart. So let's look at this. This is where our keys are placed on the tree of life. And I'm going to pull this up a little. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Can everyone see this all right? Okay. So read them now. What do you notice immediately? They're still looking at each other in the book and on the tree. The Emperor's path goes this way, the Empress this way, but they're both still focused, exactly looking at one another, reflecting one another. And as said earlier, they're in love. Okay. So that's interesting. The Empress connects the divine life here in Hokmah to the divine mind in Bina on the tree of life. And the Emperor connects the divine life to the central self of the heart, Tiferet. The Empress connects wisdom to understanding. She's the doorway that connects wisdom to understanding and understanding to wisdom. It goes both ways through her door. This is the doorway through which all things come into manifestation from the cosmic womb, and the doorway through which all things return. The Emperor connects this wisdom to the heart of Tiferet, the central self. So look now at the heart of the Empress and the heart of the Emperor. You guys did a good job of bringing this up almost immediately. But let's look a little more into this. We know that this is fire, and we see a golden cross here at the Emperor's heart. So they both point to this fire in the heart and fire in the womb of being. What occurs to you when you think of fire in the heart?
Desire. I mean, when you have a fire in your heart, it's like
Right?
you just really desire something. That's
Yes, right, right.
A deep sense of yearning
Yes,
and longing.
yes,
And passion.
yes, right. Passion. Right. Excellent. So we know the term compassion. Calm. Right? The emperor is holding a shield, and it's seven-sided, and it resembles the shape of a heart. And we see the Holy Spirit here within it. Getting in touch with this fire is getting in touch with who one is and what the living presence of this one wills to bring to birth into the world through you. All the keys are about you, what's going on with you. So in Kabbalah, it is crucial that we be brutally honest with ourselves about what it is going on with us. The world likes to give us a really long list of things that we're supposed to desire. And then we try really hard to live up to these lists so we can be whatever, good, etc. And it's easy to waste a lot of time trying to be this person that we think we're supposed to be. When all Kabbalah is asking of us is to be who we really are. Now, granted, this is not always easy because we're in the world, right? But we can't really be anything else. So when we're not being in integrity with what is we really are, or we are cutting ourselves off from the life power, from the love, and we do it to ourselves. And this Kabbalah brings about this undoing of this. So remember to be simple and sincere with yourself about what it is you desire. If it's something unacceptable to you, don't try to suppress it. It doesn't mean you act it out either. But you can't push it down because that's where the gold is. That's your life. It's your life force. Your soul is bringing something to you. And it will come back and come back and come back until we embrace it and acknowledge it. And so just being like the loving, ideal father and mother to our own self and accepting everything that we desire as what it is. This then allows the integration of much of what most of us have in our lifetime suppressed. But these keys will bring up and rise. So just remember, all desires rooted in the self, all of it. In alchemy, if we have these desires like traditionally considered the animal nature desires, which if you get a human body, you just, congratulations, you got all of them. Okay? We all have all of them. But that's loving that aspect of us and integrating it and bringing it up. Don't suppress it. That's really important to tapping into, because when you embrace that lion, like in the strength key, that's when your life just blossoms and comes forth. As you work with these keys this week, remember that all the tarot and your experience of life is happening. It's not like something that's going to happen one day. This is happening right now, and it's happening throughout your week. Just be present to it and know that this is not about the people that appear to people your world, both inwardly and outwardly. A really great practice is to question what attracts your attention as it appears. If something is continuously calling your attention and the appearance of it, ask the holy guardian angel to reveal to you what you are seeing, what you are experiencing, what is the truth behind the appearance. If you'll persist in this practice, you will get a response that may surprise you. You may start to see things in a living way that has not occurred to you before. And if, or more likely when, this happens to you, you will find that you are more and more present without looking at the world through the past. The more present we are, the more one is able to see. Now, as human beings, we tend to project our desires and human qualities and imagery and ideations onto our creator and onto what we call the world and onto what we call others. This is okay as long as you're aware. Most of us are doing this unconsciously and reacting to the world as if the person or thing we are interacting with is actually what we believe it to already be. When it's very possible, there's something much deeper going on. But the beauty of tarot, and what I'd like for you to contemplate, is the tarot uses these symbols and images because the higher intelligence that created us, what we sometimes call God or the servants of the all, they can then use this imagery to then interact with us through them. This is precisely what occurs for us when we build these images in our own personal mind. These images become a doorway through which we connect with the higher, more subtle planes of our being and the intelligence that has given us life. If you memorize the simple tree, you'll recall the Empress makes this plane right up here, which is the causative plane on the simple tree of life, just below what is termed the spiritual or divine, is the causative plane. It's the foundation of the supernals. So, most simply, this is where what will be is first imagined by the all. When we align ourselves with this level of the one within us, we align ourselves with the one will more skillfully. Working with these two keys together assists us to balance these two aspects of ourself, our receptive and our active nature. And also, this helps us to resolve any possible conflicts we may have within ourselves, between our own, what Jung calls our anima or our animus, our masculine and feminine, these qualities. They are in love and they are within you. These keys will help us have a better relationship with these two qualities within ourselves. So the Empress, she's the living matrix of the creative imagination of the all. The Emperor is the scene or vision of the all that fathers this imagination by seeing what it wills to see. Your participation with the Emperor will open up and connect you to that higher vision. And then you will see truth about the self, number 4. From the exhaustless riches of its limitless substance, I draw all things needful, both spiritual and material. Remember to make your intention this week to have contact with the Holy Guardian Angel each night as you visualize these keys both without and within. The Empress and Emperor are both the door and the window or window of your own house, which is simply where you dwell. And lastly here, I want to share one tip for working with the tarot keys. If you don't do this already, I would like you to start doing this and going forwards. Every time you work with the keys, do this specifically. Pay attention to this and use it. Whenever you see things in the keys that are silver or gray, like the moon or the metal on the Emperor's armor, when you visualize these keys in your mind's eye, I want you to see them as highly reflective and shining, like polished silver of a mirror. And when you see things that are gold, I want you to see them as very finely polished and reflective gold. This will help you activate the keys within yourself. May the Holy Guardian Angel bless your imagination and vision this week. This concludes Lesson 2 of the Tarot Review of the Major Arcana, and the floor is now open for any questions or comments.